So there is a story about
when I had to read in school, like on the spot, I was on the spot. I'm always like, oh. Come here. Which, all right. Which, I only have the definition. I have a few
I was like guitar. I sound like guitar.
It's so much better than the sleep.
Like a little hole, and I could pull her out. So anyway, part of the fun, I guess. I really like to look at it. How have you been? How are the weekends going? So far good. Some fine line. Say a hi, man. She got they were in a room and they like
there was 4 points, and then there's one left. Wait, is it all like something? Yeah, but like the ones number 3, that's like the best that's like this one is actually like the little wrench or honestly though, that would be so fun. The best thing they did to my friends in my like in the karate camp is they put a flagpole on his face, they just go into the middle of the frog and they just let them in and fight his back. It's like the geometry, like it's not. I see, you don't find your way back.
Would the audience please assemble and come to order, which you guys already have. Okay. Hello, my name is Tomo Yoshino, and I am the Scoutmaster of Ceremony for today's program. Welcome to this very special meeting for our troop, the Eagle Scout Court of Honor. Troop 37 is the oldest troop in continuous operation in the Stanford Area Council and one of the oldest in California. The original scouts and leaders met in 1917. This year, we are celebrating our centennial anniversary. And over the last 100 years, we have made many Eagle Scouts from our troop. Today, we are gathered to add 5 more Eagle Scouts to Troop 37. So, Is anyone excited? Yeah! Woo! Let's start it. Okay. Color guard, please prepare to present the colors. Audience, please rise. Those not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Scout salute. Color guard, advance. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Post the colors. Color guard dismissed. Will the scouts please remain standing? The audience may be seated a while. We recite the Scout Oath and Law. Scout sign. Scout Oath. On my honor, I'll do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout law. The Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2. Scouts, please be seated. And now I would like to invite Mr. Andrew Gray, Troop 37 Scoutmaster, to the podium to begin the ceremony.
Thanks, Tetsuya. It is my pleasure to welcome you and to officially open this Eagle Court of Honor to recognize the accomplishments of 5 of our scouts: Kevin Chandran, Brian Delaney, Andrew Morris, Sheldon Wong, and Tomo Yoshino. These scouts have earned Scouts' highest award, that of Eagle Scout. Before we begin, I would like to ask other recipients of the Eagle Scout Award, or Girl Scouts who have received the Gold Award, or their country's equivalent international rank, who are in our audience, please stand. So this group, the Eagle Scouts, represents the culmination of years of effort and dedication. Each of these people has earned their highest award and has understood and responded to their duty to serve their fellow men and brother scouts, or I guess sister scouts, in their daily life. Nationwide, fewer than 4% of the people who enter scouting achieve the rank of Eagle. Famous Eagle Scouts include the former mayor of New York, Michael Bloomberg, Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer, Director Steven Spielberg, and over 40 astronauts, including Neil Armstrong and James Lovell. So thank you, guys. Though we are here to honor our Eagle Scouts, I would also like to recognize the friends and family of today's Eagle Scouts who are here. From the Chandran family, Kevin's parents, Joe and Monica, Kevin's grandparents, Rebecca and Vincent George, Clara in India, and we're remembering the late Mr. Louis Chandran. Kevin's aunts and uncles, Joseph and Mary, Melvin and Fiona, and Frida and Morale, and the other friends and family from the Chandran family. Thanks for coming. From the Delaney family, we have Brian's parents, Mark and Claire, who've been so helpful for the troop over the years. Brian's brother Ben, I saw Ben's in the back there. And the other friends and family of the Delaney family. And we remember Brian's grandparents, Helen and Dr. Robert Conrad, and Peace and Elizabeth Delaney. From the Morris family, Andrew's parents, Keith and Helen Morris, Andrew's grandparents, Bill and Mary Massey, and Barbara Morris in the UK, and remembering the late Joseph Morris. Andrew's sisters, Victoria and Rachel, and the other friends and family of the Morris family. From the Wong family, we have Sheldon's parents, John Wong and Lily Shea, Sheldon's grandparent, Helen, Sheldon's sister, Valerie, Sheldon's Aunt Hattie, and Uncle She, and the other friends and family from the Wong family. And then from the Yoshino family, Tomo's parents, Kazuko and Fuyumi, Tomo's grandparents, Hideaki and Mina Yoshino in Japan, and Motoko Yamamoto, and remembering Takashi Yamamoto in Japan. Tomo's brother Tatsuya, who did such a great job as the intro as a MC. And Tomo's aunts, Fumiko Kawasaki and Shizuko Adachi, and the other friends and family from the Yoshino family. So at this point, I would ask our honor guard to please escort Kevin, Brian, Andrew, Sheldon, and Tomo to the front.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gray. I would now like to introduce Mayor Jean Mordo, Mayor of the City of Los Altos, and Vice Mayor Machek from the City of Mountain View, who will present proclamations from the city.
Hi, my name is Jean Mordeau. It's a French John, so it's pronounced Jean. And I'm mayor of Los Altos. So there's no eagles today from the city of Los Altos, but all of them are from the Los Altos Troop 37, of which the city of Los Altos is very proud. So on behalf of the city of Los Altos, host of this troop, I welcome my colleagues from Cupertino and Mountain View, and I will have a brief congratulations to our honorees. I'll start with Andrew Morris, who for his Eagle Project designed and built the Peter Pan pirate ship float for the annual Festival of Lights Parade, which is the Sunday following Thanksgiving, downtown Los Altos, and hope we're all going to be there to see it pass. Brian Delaney, his Eagle project was to refurbish pathways of a native garden at Almond Elementary School and replaced a footbridge at the site. Kevin Chandran improved the garden at St. Simon Church by removing the old lawn edging and installing 500 feet of new Trex edging. Sheldon Wong, his Eagle project incorporated his passion for history and geography, designing and building user-friendly informational signs about Mountain View and placing them around Rengsdorf Park for the enjoyment of local visitors. And finally, Tomo Yoshino, his Eagle project involved building 6 garden boxes for McClellan Ranch and clearing a plot to set them in. He cleared the plot, and boxes will be used as an area of socialization and communal gardening. So again, I'd like to congratulate the 5 recipients, and I will now hand them their proclamation of recognition from the city of Los Altos. Kevin Chandran. Brian.
It's an honor to be here to recognize these fine young men for what they've accomplished. You all should feel really good about yourselves. It's a real accomplishment to make the rank of Eagle Scout. And this must be a really great troop because I understand most of the members are from Mountain View. So on behalf of the City of Mountain View, I would like to present you with a certificate of recognition.
Thank you, Mayor Mordeau and Vice Mayor Machek. Now I would like to introduce Vice Mayor Rod Sinks, Vice Mayor of the City of Cupertino and the former Troop 37 Scoutmaster, who will present proclamations from the city.
One rule is you never give a former Scoutmaster the microphone. I'll put in a brief plug while I'm here. I still enjoy doing some snow camping with the troop on occasion when that works, and I also enjoy orienteering, and I understand we have an event set for September 30th down at Calero, a training activity, and then the Bay Area Orienteering Championships in mid-October. I hope to see all of you there. I think I might need a co-leader to do it, and I recently refreshed my YPT. Greetings from my son, Mark, who was once SPL of this troop. He is now living and thriving in the great city of Boston, having completed his bachelor's degree. I know some of you still remember him, or maybe still even remember me. I hope you remember us and all that wonderful time very fondly. Well, to you Scouts, I knew you as tenderfeet, second class, first class Scouts. It's been a little while, for the most part. I'm thrilled to see you here as part of this troop. The reason my son decided to join, like the Scouts from Mountain View, is this is the best troop in these parts for quite a few cities. Building kayaks, going to kayak camp. Look at all of the adults in the audience, Andrew, the latest Scoutmaster, but so many of you who have contributed so much to now generations, and you've stayed in and you've worked, you continue to volunteer, maybe even after your son dropped out. And I'd just like to take a moment to appreciate all of you who have given so much to make this the best darn troop around, as evidenced by the fact that you have these folks from, they could have elected troops that were a lot closer to home, and they elected this troop. So it's a real tribute to all of you. Now, I have one word for you Scouts before we get on with these certificates. You're going to do lots of great things in your lives. I know it. You've already demonstrated your record of achievement by earning the Eagle Scout Award and doing what it did to persist. For some of you it was easier, for some of you it was more difficult. You're going to face, for those of you who found it more difficult, I will tell you, you may have learned one of scouting's most valuable lessons, how to persevere when everything's crunching around you, you have way too much to do. Mom and dad are doing this, and your coach wants that, and your teachers want this, and the college counselor wants that. What you managed to do in pulling off this Eagle Scout rank is persistence through a number of years, and something that has taught you lessons in character, values, contribution to the community, and I hope you take that contribution seriously. It's kind of warm in here. But for all of the things that you've done, and for all that you're going to go on to do, I hope you learn this one particular lesson. And you learn it by thinking about, with all you choose to accomplish. Thank you, Delaney. I hope you learn this. You're going to go on to greater things. You're going to hold other positions. Maybe you'll become president one day. God knows we need better people in politics, if I'm allowed to say that. That you can never, that you always ought to be proud of and ought to stay with you for life, and that is your time in scouting, the contributions you made, the values you established. I hope they become a rock and center for your life. So you can take the scout out of scouting. As you go on to college, that's likely what's going to happen. But you can't take scouting out of you all as Eagle Scouts. So thank you very much. Sheldon? So congratulations to all of you. Now I can shake with the left. Congratulations. Brian. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Sings. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Eric Schmidt, Troop 37 Assistant Scoutmaster, who will speak regarding the qualifications of the Scouts relating to merit badges, rank advancement, leadership, Scout spirit, and service.
There we go. Thank you, Tatsuya. So, Rod, you're a tough act to follow. But, anyway, this is a lot, so I'm going to read it. So the rank of Eagle is the 7th highest rank in scouting. To reach the rank of Eagle, in addition to achieving all the required merit badges, the Scouts must plan, receive approval, organize, and carry out a major community service project, recruiting fellow Scouts, community members to help them along the way. Finally, the Scout must appear before an Eagle Board of Review and present their project proposal to the Pacific Skyline Council. In all, the Eagle Scouts have completed approximately 325 different requirements to reach the rank of Eagle. And like we heard before, only 4% of Scouts on average reach that rank. Kevin, Brian, Andrew, Sheldon, and Tomo started as Cub Scouts before joining Troop 37, and all had advanced through the ranks of scouting, and they've mastered new skills, met new friends, shared adventures with their fellow Scouts and Scout leaders. So here are the statistics. Everyone get your scorecard. Kevin has camped 52 nights, paddled 4 miles, biked 38 miles, hiked 34 miles, and earned 30 merit badges. Congratulations. Likewise, Brian has camped 48 nights, paddled 4 miles, biked 35 miles, hiked 32 miles, and earned 23 merit badges. Congratulations. Andrew has camped 100 nights. I was on a few of those trips with you. Paddled 15 miles, biked 207 miles, hiked 110 miles, and earned 27 merit badges. Congratulations. Sheldon's camped 41 nights, paddled 4 miles, biked 60 miles, hiked 31 miles, and earned 21 merit badges. Congratulations. And Tomo has camped 67 nights, paddled 102 miles, hiked 60 miles, and earned 27 merit badges. Congratulations. So Scouting is more than outdoor skills and earning merit badges. It places a significant importance on leadership. And so let me talk about the leadership and service of each of the guys. Kevin's performed 81 hours of service on 18 different service projects. His role in the troop included librarian, patrol leader, scribe, and assistant patrol leader. We heard before Mayor Mordo talked about the projects, but Kevin's project was improving the garden at St. Simon Church. Brian's performed 135 hours of service on 21 different projects throughout his scouting career. His leadership roles included patrol leader, quartermaster, assistant senior patrol leader. And for his Eagle project, Brian refurbished the pathways at Almond School. Andrews performed 128 service hours on 13 different projects. His leadership role in the troop included patrol leader and troop guide. And for his project, he built the Peter Pan pirate ship for the National Reds Parade. Sheldon performed 56 hours of service on 16 different projects, and his leadership roles included patrol leader, den chief, historian, chaplain's aide, and scribe. For his Eagle project, Sheldon combined the history and geography with his informational science at Rainsdorf Park. Tomo's performed 20 hours of service on 9 different projects, and his leadership role in the troop included librarian and historian, scribe, and assistant patrol leader. And for his Eagle project, Tomo built the 6 garden boxes at McClellan Ranch. Here it says that I have the option to ad lib, and I did bring 5 pieces of rope, and I thought we would just take a test. Okay. So in conclusion, Kevin, Brian, Andrew, Sheldon, and Tomo are qualified in the area of rank advancement, scoutcraft, and outdoor skills. All 5 scouts have demonstrated maturity through their service, scout spirit, and leadership. I declare them to meet the qualifications for the rank of Eagle in all these areas. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Schmidt. Now Mr. Gray will present the Scouts with the Eagles Charge and Oath.
Kevin, Brian, Andrew, Sheldon, and Tomo, we are gathered here to honor your accomplishments of this significant achievement. Every Eagle Scout is an Eagle Scout for life. After today, you will never say, I was an Eagle Scout. You'll say, I am an Eagle Scout. If you'd stopped at a lower rank after your 18th birthday, you would be referred to as a former Scout. But one becomes and remains an Eagle always. With this rank, however, comes responsibility to be honorable, trustworthy, loyal, courageous, cheerful, to be of service to others. This is the beginning. Kevin, Brian, Andrew, Sheldon, Tomo, please stand with me, and I will administer the Eagle Charge. Eagle candidates: Kevin Joseph Chandran, Brian Christopher Delaney, Andrew Joseph Morris, Nolan Sheldon Wong, and Tomo Yoshino. I charge you to enter the Eagle Scout Brotherhood, continuing to hold the ideals of honor and service. By the repetition of the Eagle Scout Oath, you will reaffirm your attainment of the rank of Eagle Scout. When you pledge yourself on your sacred honor, you will be sealing your loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout. Scouts, attention. Please make the Scout sign and repeat after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example. My rank and influence count strongly for better scouting and for better citizenship in my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this, I pledge my sacred honor. You put your sound down. As Scoutmaster of Troop 37, and by the authority vested in me by the National Court of Honor of the Boy Scouts of America, it is my privilege to pronounce Kevin, Brian, Andrew, Sheldon, and Tomo Eagle Scouts. And now, gentlemen, would you please escort your parents to the front? Kevin, Brian, Andrew, Sheldon, and Tomo, we now proclaim to the entire world your accomplishments. The symbol of your success is the Eagle Scout badge and neckerchief. So would the honor guard come forward? That's you guys. So would the mothers of the Eagle Scouts please pin the Eagle badge on your son? And now, would the fathers please place the Eagle Scout neckerchief around your son's neck? Kevin, Brian, Andrew, Sheldon, and Tomo, in recognition of the support and guidance given to you by your mothers, and for their many hours of involvement in your experience on the Eagle Trail, you may pin the Eagle Mother's Pin onto her lapel. In recognition of the interest and guidance given to you by your fathers, and for their many hours of involvement in your scouting projects and experiences, you may pin the Eagle Father's Pin on their lapels. Thank you, parents. The parents may return to their seats. And would the honor guard give the Eagle badges to the scouts? And the honor guard may return to their seats as well. So finally, some of you are fortunate enough to have your grandparents present. You may give them their grandparents' pins and maybe a hug if you want. or not. So as rare as the Eagle rank is, Eagle palms are more so. Only 1 in 10 Eagle Scouts earns an Eagle palm. To earn a palm, the Scout must demonstrate Scout spirit by living the Scout oath and the Scout law in his everyday life and demonstrate leadership ability. He must earn 5 additional merit badges beyond those required for Eagle or for his last palm. Kevin, Andrew, and Tomo have each earned their bronze palm, and if I had them with me, I would provide them. They may already be in the box, but I'm not certain. Yeah, already in the box. So with that, I'm going to step down. I think that's who you back up.
Thank you, Mr. Gray. I would now like to invite Mr. Luke to the podium to present Kevin with his gold palm.
Thank you, Tatsuya. Okay. There we go. Even rare is for a Scout to earn his second Eagle palm. To earn a second palm, a Scout must continue to demonstrate the Scout spirit by living the Scout oath and the Scout law in his everyday life and demonstrate leadership ability. He must earn 5 additional merit badges beyond those required for his last palm. This Gold Eagle Palm represents the completion of at least 31 merit badges. I would like to present Kevin with his gold palm, which he's already holding in his hand. Congratulations, Kevin.
Thank you, Mr. Luke. Now I would like to invite Simon Burdick and Justin Casso to the podium to present the Perpetual Eagle.
Kevin, Brian, Andrew, Sheldon, and Tomo. I am pleased to pass on to you the Troop 37 Perpetual Eagle. The Olson and McSweeney families started this tradition in 1983. It was entrusted to me and Simon when we became an Eagle Scout. Now we are passing it on to you. Please take good care of this symbol as it is the highest rank in Scouting. It will be your responsibility to be present at our troop's next Eagle Scout Court of Honor and continue this tradition.
Thank you, Simon and Justin. And now we're going to start the most exciting part of this. Get ready. The new Eagle Scouts will come to the podium to say a few words and present their mentor pins. So let's start with Kevin, and then we're going to go to Brian, Andrew, Sheldon, and last but not least, Tomo.
So I'd first like to thank you all for taking time out of your day to celebrate with us. This is a big accomplishment for all of us, and we appreciate your recognition. So when I was told about the mentor pin, I think I knew exactly who I would give it to. There are a lot of people here today that have influenced me, and I wish I could give a pin to all of them, but I can't. That's why I came up with the process. I found the person who wasn't just kind, or just encouraging, or just eager to help. This person has all of these attributes. Although not a part of Scouting, this person is a true mentor to me. This person gave me many opportunities to overcome my biggest fear, large audiences. So my mentor pin is going to one of the leaders of the St. Simon's Music Ministry, Mr. Tony Ayres. Tony, please join me up here.
Before I talk about my mentor pin, I just want to point something out. Scouting has been a part of my life for almost exactly 12 years now, because I joined Cub Scouts through Path 36 in late summer of 2006, in first grade, and now it's the late summer of 2018. I've begun my journey to UC Berkeley, and I'm about to end my formative years of Scouting. So I need to provide a mentor pin to someone, and I've had a lot of mentors over 12 years. even skipping past Cub Scouts to the good stuff. I was greeted in Troop 37 by Rod Sinks, now Vice Mayor Cupertino, and I lost you in the audience. There you are. He's the one who helped my fellow New Scouts and I with our skills as we made our way to first class. Fast forward a few years, we received help from the older Scouts, the further Scoutmasters, Mr. Wu, our current Scoutmaster Gray, many other adults in the group, and I'm obligated to mention all of the support from my parents who have helped me throughout the entirety of Scouting. Thank you. However, I can only select one person to give my mentor pin to, and after consideration, it's none of the people I've mentioned so far. It's one person who, while he may not have played the largest role in my Scouting career, he certainly played the most consistent, a very consistent one. He walked me through the skills, merit badges, leadership, especially in his field of expertise. And I really have to give him credit for helping me make my largest leadership project in Boy Scouts, Bloody Monday 2017, become a reality. As such, I would like to present my mentor pin to Doc Ellis.
First of all, thank you all for being here. We all appreciate you taking your time out of your Sunday afternoon to come celebrate this with us. And I'd like to keep these short and sweet, but first off, some more specific thank yous. I'd like to thank all the friends I've made in Scouting for making it such a memorable experience for me. I'd also like to thank Mr. Tarpovala, my Eagle advisor, for all the help you've given me during my Eagle project. And I also like to thank my family for all the support you've given me over the last 7 years. So when I first joined Boy Scouts, I didn't really know anyone in this troop besides Kevin, who's also receiving his Eagle today. And because I didn't live in Los Altos or go to the same schools as any of the other Scouts. And all of my friends from Cub Scouts had gone to Cupertino-based troops. And I was, at first, because of that, I was skeptical about leaving my comfort zone and thrusting myself into a new situation with new people I'd never met. And 7 years later, I can say that I'm really grateful that I chose this troop because of all the lifelong friendships and connections that I've been able to make from my first kayak camp to being able to go to the National Jamboree last year. I've had so many unique experiences and I've enjoyed every minute of it. So I think this troop really is the perfect combination. A large group of very enthusiastic and bright Scouts who really enjoy and appreciate the opportunities that Scouting gives them, and a set of adult leaders who are devoted to guiding these Scouts in the right direction so that we're all ready to become fine adults and have a positive impact on the world. So that brings me to the last part of my spiel, which is awarding the mentor pin to an adult that has had a profound impact on my Scouting career. So, as I said earlier, like a lot of my friends had gone to Cupertino-based troops, so I decided to give my mentor pin to someone who had actually inspired me to join this troop as opposed to a lot of Cupertino troops, and someone that I've known since Cub Scouts, and in my early years of Scouting, he helped me with so many skills and things like that, and more specifically with my Eagle project. There were so many times where I might need help with something, or like a design flaw or something in my project, and he was always the first person I could call, and he would always be there for me and provide the support I needed. So because of your impact on my Scouting career and your time and devotion to Scouting in general, I'd like to invite Mr. LaPlane to come up here for his recipient.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just basically repeating what everyone else said. Hello, everyone. It is an honor to be here today with these 4 individuals who, along with myself, will be graduating from Boy Scouts today. So if I'm keeping track, that's my 2nd graduation this summer. I know that for all 5 of us, today represents an achievement that comes from hundreds of hours of hard work and commitment, which has allowed us to reach this pinnacle of our scouting career, and I am very grateful to be standing here as part of the next group of 237 Scouts. So I think basically what I'm supposed to say here is I remember my first day of Cub Scout like it was yesterday, etc. I remember it clearly. But the truth is, I don't really remember much of anything from my first year as a Cub Scout. I think that's because, like any young kid at the time, I wasn't very motivated to do anything that I didn't think was fun. And as I grew older, that all changed for many reasons. But I believe the biggest reason why I started to enjoy scouting more was because of the person whom I picked as my mentor, Mrs. Delaney. As she served as our then leader in Cub Scouting, her activities and her enthusiasm as a leader constantly motivated me, as well as, I'm sure, all the other scouts to enjoy our time in scouting. And it's because of her, it's because of her that I was always motivated to be interested in scouting. Even though she was in charge of 5 or 10 troublesome, rebellious scouts, her leadership made sure that everyone was engaged and everyone had fun. And even as I moved on in Troop 37, she remained an integral part of my scouting career, whether it's from helping me with rank advancements or just driving me to almost every scouting event. It's everything you've done for me, I think.
Hi, I'm Tomo Yoshino, and so this speech is supposed to be 2 minutes, and that's faster than my 800-meter race time. So I'm going to try to finish this in less than 2 minutes. Okay, so when I joined Scouting, I was in Boy Scouts at the first years. I was really stressed about getting skills signed off. I was like obsessed with getting skills, and so I thought I would rank up fast, and then I would become Eagle fast. But then that wasn't actually the case, because there's so many merit badges to do, and all the Eagle required merit badges, it was all partials after my summer camps, and I was really stressed about that. And then in my later years, I had to write like a bunch of formal polite emails to like the adult leaders, because I had to get them to help me with the meetings and also with my Eagle project. So it was very difficult, but Boy Scouts, there were still a lot of fun experiences. Like in my 5th year of Boy Scouts, before I entered as a freshman at high school, I went to Northern Tier and the World Scout Jamboree. Now Northern Tier, it was really difficult because the kayaks, the canoes, and the backpacks were like 2/3 of my body weight, and it was so hard to carry. And also at the World Scout Jamboree, I was mistaken as a Japanese scout so many times since I'm a Japanese. And then, but however, Boy Scouts has helped me a lot in real life too. And so even though Boy Scouts doesn't define me as like a person all the time, it's still a lot of the values from Boy Scouts, such as organization and also leadership, those still affect me. And so the mentor pin is going to Mr. Terapurapala, because he told me to prioritize and not stress about scouting as much as other things that are more important. And so scouting, the values are important to me, but also I realized that I should also concentrate on other things, not just like the Eagle project. Thank you. Thank you guys. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Garth Pickett, Area Vice President of BSA, to address the Eagle Court of Honor.
Knowing I'm a major person between you and the refreshments, I will try to keep this short, but it's hard for me to keep anything short when it comes to scouting. I'm here representing the council, so I have an area and a regional position. I was former president of the council, and I am also on the executive board of directors. And we have a practice of going out to all of the Eagle Courts of Honor and make a presentation on behalf of the council. Now, all of you here, except for the scouts who are assigned to be here, are here to honor and for a purpose of creating honor to these young men. And this is a payday for you. It's a payday for the parents, it's a payday for their scout leaders, and it's certainly a payday for these 5 young men. But it's also a payday to the council. All the work we put in, many of you not knowing a thing we do, or why we do what we do, we make the council work, we make it possible for the troop to be able to function, and the dens and the packs and on all of the various scouting programs in our council. But our payday is when young men become Eagle Scouts. And for that, that's the reason we go out and want to be part of these presentations. And we have a little award or presentation to give them. We had 200 scouts last year in our council, a little over 200, I think it was 203, 204 Eagle Scouts in our council. That's with about 8,000 scouts that we service in our council. Of that 200 scouts, that represented over 30,000 hours of service for their communities. And that is a great achievement. When you just stop and think about it, that's beyond what the scouts do in general, because scout troops are to have service projects. They have to provide service in other rank advancement. But just for their Eagle projects, to present over 30,000 hours to the community, think of that investment, both time and money and effort, is a great contribution. The other thing that we want to mention is that for this reason, and for all of their great effort, we want to give them back something from the council. So we do 2 things. One, we have signed up each one of these Eagle Scouts, and they should be receiving in the mail, if they haven't already, a quarterly magazine, and they are now members of NISA, National Eagle Scout Association. So we give them a 5-year membership to that association. And that association now makes them eligible for over $200,000 of scholarships, from $5,000 to $40,000 each. And young men, don't forget to apply for these. You may be surprised. There are so many awarded, you just may fit in even if you don't think you will qualify. But many of you, I can tell, are great scouts, and so you should apply. You can even apply as late as a sophomore and junior in college. If you finally get around to thinking, oops, I think I need a little help. Let's look for the Eagle NISA, because I'm a member of NISA, to become one of their recipients. The other thing we do is, and I'd like to call these scouts forward, is I give them, not award them, hand them something. So Andrew first, come forward. We give each of our Eagle Scouts a card from the board with a Eagle Scout poem, nice part, and a new patch. So as he wears his patch in the future, it says Pacific Skyline Council. It will now say Pacific Skyline Council Eagle Scout. And you will have that. So I award that to you. And I give you your mother. Now I used to just say the parents can decide, but it always went to the mother. So I just cut through it all and say, to each of the mothers, we award this from your license plate. Proud of my Eagle Scout. And I'm seeing more and more of these in our community. You need to have these on a lot of the, and for those fathers feeling left out, you can buy one of the Scouts. just thought I would use him as the example and then each of the others. So, Brian? Your card. For your mother. Here, let me shake your hand. I forgot to shake it. And for Kevin? Sheldon? And Tomo. Now we have I saw a bunch of Star and Light Scouts here and some other scouts from the troop. I remember my first Eagle Court of Honor. Now, my father, being an Eagle, had told me as a young man, I hope, son, that you stay in scouting and become an Eagle. That kind of registered. But then I went to my first Eagle Court of Honor. I was 12 years old. I still remember being there. There were 5 young men getting into the Scouts. And I looked at those 5 guys. There was my senior patrol leader, my assistant senior patrol leader, other leaders in the troop. But more importantly, it was who they were and what they represented to me. There was also my student body president, my vice president, and great leaders and athletes in my high school and junior high. And then later on, as I saw them progress, I see one at national meeting. He's on the national executive board. The others are great community. Every one of them have been great community leaders, vice mayors, involved in their community, involved in their counties, involved in their local government leadership. And so I made a commitment to myself then. I wanted to be like them. I wanted to fulfill their example. And that's why Eagles carry the gravitas that they do in our society. At national meeting, our national president, Randall Stevenson, CEO of AT&T, stood and talked to us as the national president does at all of our national meetings. And they all have an interesting story to say, but he just looked down and he said, we are, in scouting, the manufacturers of leadership for this nation. We are the nation's #1 manufacturer of leaders. He said, name me another organization that has been responsible for more leaders in our society than Boy Scouts of America. Now, I remember hearing something similar to that at the National Jamboree when our president stood up and said, I congratulate you. You are our national leadership training corps for the United States. President Obama said the same thing to us a couple of jamborees before then. We are recognized in scouting as producing great leaders. And that's what inspired me to want to be an Eagle Scout. And that is because as they leave this pulpit and they go on throughout their life, it's the life they lead that adds to that great gravitas, I guess is the best word, of being an Eagle Scout. And so I challenge you, 5-years, to remember, you are now not only representing yourself and your family, but you're representing Boy Scouts, and particularly as an Eagle Scout, you're representing all other Eagle Scouts before you and after you throughout your life. And it's as you live that life, do you add to the greatness of that award. It's the only thing that you will see on your resume, and I hope you keep it on your resume throughout your life. I have some great stories about that, by the way. But it's also the one thing that you do as a youth that is also mentioned at your funeral. So it shows you how great that he is. I've been to some funerals, pretty old people, and they bring out that they were an Eagle Scout. They never forget that. And so it's a great honor that you carry throughout your life. So on behalf of the council, I again thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here and be a small part of this ceremony. And thank you to the parents. We know this didn't happen without a great deal of effort by your scout leaders, but particularly parents. Now there's a song written a few years ago. I frankly don't like the song, but it's to the eagle we give the honor, to the mother we give the award. And it's a song or something like that, because of all the great efforts of the mother and the father and the parents in their young men achieving this. So I want to again congratulate our parents as well for what you've done. So thank you for having me, and I'll now turn it back to closing ceremonies. This has been a national court of honor. All your other courts of honor were troop courts of honor, meaning that's an award issued by the troop. But the troop doesn't have the authority to issue this award. This came out of national. This was awarded by national at a national court of honor. That shows the significance of this award. So thank you, and we'll now proceed with the
Thank you, Mr. Pickett. And now, could Mr. Gray please come forward to close the Court of Honor?
Congratulations to our new Eagle Scouts, Tomo, Brian, Kevin, Andrew, Sheldon. I declare this Eagle Court of Honor closed. Thank you for attending. Tatsuya, would you please lead the color guard in retiring the colors?
Color guard, prepare to retire the colors. Will the audience please rise? Scouts in uniform, salute, and others, place your hand on your heart. Color guard, retire the colors. Two. Thank you for attending. There's dinner, and I hope you had an enjoyable time. And also remember the spirits too, and I'm hungry, so let's have dinner. Remember, adult school first. Could Mr. Gray please come up on the stage? Oh, could Mr. Sinks please come up on the stage? Could Mr. Luke please come up on stage? Could Mr. Schmidt please come up on stage? Could Mayor Mordeau please come up on stage? Oh, did they? I think they left. Okay. Some of my classes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Oh, and the Scouts would like to give flowers to the scout to the moms.
you look here for one,
Wait, is this going to be in the flowers first?
you guys turn. Turn for both shots. Turn around. See everybody? Yeah. Yeah, it's going on. You're going to have to find it. Yeah, but no. Well, you do be able to find it.